Hello everyone, this is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that some of my video courses are already available. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. I would really appreciate your support. Today we continue working with the dress with the draping. Last time I showed you how to make a pattern for it. And today I'm going to show you how to cut it. And then I'll show you how to take it. Have a close look here. First, I need to mark the checkpoints in the details. The draping starts from this point and finishes in this one. That means that these points should match. The extra fabric should be distributed between these points. This is also the checkpoint. It's a must for them to match. As I've said, these points have to match. So now I know how much to drape the side. I can pin the side detail now and start cutting the dress. What should we start with? I'll actually start with the side detail. The seam allowance is 1 cm on all sides. Do not forget to make small notches in the matching points and in the waistline. Two notches on the waistline and notches on the checkpoints. I remind you that this detail will be gathered up to this side. If you don't mark the checkpoints, you won't be able to make accurate details. The dress wouldn't look good in this case. I can start cutting the front now. I remind you that I'm going to make the pleats right on a dummy. If you don't have a dummy, you should make them right on the body. Ask someone to help you. Making pleats is a delicate work. The seam allowance in the neckline is 7 mm. This is the shoulder, 1 cm here. Do not forget to make a notch in the center front. 5 or 7 mm allowance in the armholes. Do not forget to mark the waistline. Next, I need to cut the side with the draping. This part won't be cut on a lengthwise or crosswise grain. This is why there is no need to add much for the seam allowance. Do not forget to make notches in the checkpoints. Up from this point, there will be no pleats in the dress. Watch what I'm doing. I'm even going to cut some angles from the pattern. This is how the front looks like now. Do not forget to mark the waistline and the checkpoints. As I've said, there will be no pleats up from this point. Make a notch on the waistline. I want to mark the checkpoints with a piece of chalk. 1, 2, 3. I can detach the pattern now. Don't be afraid of making garments with draping. Just remember that the more accurate your pattern is, the easier it will be for you to make the draping. And the better the dress will fit you. Very nice. The front details are ready. What should I do next? I need to join the details face to face and tack them on the waistline. I'm making just one tiny stitch. This is how the details look like now. They are attached on the waistline. Next, I need to join the checkpoints. Watch the way I'm doing it. I'm taking the part with no draping in it. Down from the checkpoint. Be very attentive. This is how the tack detail looks like now. I've tacked the side detail down from the checkpoint. Next, I need to do the same thing with the upper part. Don't worry, I'll show you everything once again. I've tacked the upper part of the side detail as well, up from the checkpoint, the part with no draping in it. I've also made a stitch on the waistline. Next, I need to make the pleats from the extra fabric. Of course, you can gather it on the table, but I suggest doing it on a dummy or even on a body. I'll show you how to do it. I remind you that I'm making a dress according to Ira's basic pattern. So imagine this is Ira. First, I need to pin the front to the dummy. I love such necklines. They look very good. When the shoulders are pinned, pin the waistline. Pin the side seam right to the side seam in the dummy. In your case, you'll first tack the back and then make the fitting. I just don't want to waste the fabric. This is just a mock-up. You can see that even though I'm making just a mock-up, I'm being very careful. Please be very careful and attentive when doing it. Notice that the waistline fits the dummy perfectly. If you make mistakes when pinning the details, the dress won't fit you. I've almost finished attaching the dress to the dummy. Today I've shown you how to cut the dress and how to tack the side detail. Next time I'm going to show you how to make the draping. That's all for today. My name is Irina Paukshte. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.